and roll here. RBM is loaded. StrengthenAI mod is loaded successfully, and we are ready to go. So welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. We just loaded up our save game here in this Aserai campaign. We are dedicated to Bannerlord on this channel, and right now we are dedicated to this Aserai campaign. With Wazu's help, the Southern Empire is really making a dent here in the northeast. We're developing a little fiefdom here, it's almost a crescent shape moon. Now the Aserai are sieging Onira still, but we've taken a couple castles to the north. It's kind of strange. The whole kingdom is sort of shifting counterclockwise because we're still at war with the Aserai, and we're starting to really beat the shit out of the Southern Empire. We just devastated a large Southern Empire force, took Regea captive, and now over here we've got problems, right? I've got a castle. Wazu has another castle over there, but look at this Aserai kingdom, right? They are just unleashed. I think that's them sieging Pencannock, and they were sieging Maranath a second ago. So the Aserai may have a juggernaut opponent in this campaign. It's hard to know, but the Valandians are definitely on the rampage. Wazu's army at this stage is quite advanced, right? Wazu level 34, looking pretty shiny there in his armor. We're routinely carrying 200 troops. I've left some good troops in the garrison here because we just acquired Danustica. This is going to be our capital, hopefully for the whole campaign, although we shall see how it develops. And we're going to head north and help them with Onira. The other thing I'm trying to do at this stage is gather food. These motherfuckers are raiding our villages, and early on you really need food to quell rebellions, to feed angry peasants. People like bread and circuses, right? So you want to get food early on. Now look at this shit. It is this guy. This guy here was just sieging. Oh shit. Not like another message just ran it over. Never mind. You're going to have to trust me. That is the army that is assaulting and destroying another Battanian force. So the Valandians are completely on the rampage, and unfortunately the Aserai are not attacking them. So we could engage the Valandians a little bit. Whoa. We just destroyed a large Southern Empire force, and here's 1800. He's going to destroy this Aserai force there. We could call an army or two to help us, or we can beat feet and run here. There's no armies super close. Yeah, they're definitely going to get crushed at Onira. What's this guy's army look like? That's actually pretty weak. He's got about 700 troops that are tier 2, tier 3 and less. Let's do this shit. At least if he'll attack us. If he attacks us, we'll do it. All right, this is actually going to be great. We're going to have a massive RBM battle. We have everything loaded. The StrengthenAI mod. We have the RBM mod. So the battlefield is going to be different with the unique AI. And on top of all that, we have the battle size mod. So this is going to be an absolutely titanic, huge, unusual battle here in a map that I have a little bit of experience with, but not a lot. Stick this noble in the 8th Corps. I'm starting to develop a little bit of an 8th Corps. Fans of the channel know I like to have an elite reserved unit of high-end troops. In a battle like this, there won't be any reserves. These guys are flying in early on. I mean, we're outnumbered, 2.5 to 1, I guess, give or take. So first and 6th will be infantry. I think we're going to do a little bit of something different again in this episode. I keep building sacrifice divisions, and it's working well for me. A sacrifice division is essentially where you have a really low-level division that you throw at the enemy, and then as the enemy's attacking it, you demolish them and surround them with stronger infantry. So this is going to be our sacrifice unit. If it comes to that, the 1st division, and look at these motherfuckers, right? As soon as the 1st division is attacked, the 3rd and 6th will come in on the enemy flanks and obliterate everything in sight. There is military precedence, of course, for that. There have been plenty of battles where they sent in shock troops, not shock troops, they sent in the weakest troops first to sort of confuse the enemy, make it look like it was going to be an easy win, and then, the vanguard towards the back. Usually in military history, the strongest troops are towards the front. So 4th and 5th archers, I'm just kind of trying to tell you this as I assess our army here. We've got a lot of cavalry, which is good for RBM, right? We don't... actually, we've got kind of just a large army overall, and I just realized it looks like it's large, but we have a kind of a balanced army because it's the battle size mod, right? So we have like 700 troops. This might be most of our army on the battlefield right now. And then, of course, the enemy's going to have at least as many troops as this, right? The battle size mod allows for up to 2,000 units on the battlefield. And unfortunately, it looks like there's so many units on the battlefield that for the first time, my PC's kind of suffering. Now, that's using the RTS mod as well, so we really are like trying to drag a trailer 150 miles an hour uphill. We're asking a lot from the machine, and evidently it can't quite handle 2,000 units. The RBM mod, the battle size mod, and the RTS mod, which speeds up the battle, all running at the same time, which is fine. It's going to take the enemy a little bit of time to get here, but that'll allow me to tell you a little bit more about my plan. This water, of course, anytime you can use water, it's beneficial. The enemy has to come to us. Why? Because they attacked us. So we're going to send the 7th and the 8th Corps off to the side. I'm going to try to isolate and destroy one of their cav divisions, because one of the keys to RBM and the RBM AI module is to knock out one of the legs of the enemy's defenses and one of their attacking wings of cavalry. So either over here, we're going to concentrate troops. We'll put the cav with an infantry division behind it, probably a shock troop division. Oh, now it's working. Now RTS mod is liquid smooth. I don't know. Let's just be a little spot back there in the battlefield. Sweet. So we're going to have that. That'll help speed things up here. And let's assess what the enemy's doing. Okay, so they got cavalry charging me here. I got to be careful not to get killed running at 3x speed. We're not save scumming. We're just going to roll with it. And there have been a few battles where Wazu got fucking shot off his horse in the first 10 minutes of battle. So we'll do our best here. But I'm also trying to make things expeditious for you fellas, especially with the RBM mod. We will not have a long dissertation about the value and benefits and different factors of the RBM mod. What you need to know, if you've never watched it before, is that it gives an advantage to cavalry, and the battles take longer. The enemy's much more meticulous with its tactics. Very methodical, very deliberate. Not just this charge straight in. Now, their cavalry's charging straight in, and this is what we wanted, because we have horse archers flanking them, and we're charging with our other division, creating a nasty little surprise sandwich here for them. You can still surprise the RBM mod, right? It's not like this incredible genius generative learning mod. And we're going to be able to really hammer this cavalry, especially if they don't provide support. Right, the whole idea here is we outnumber this cav division like 3-1, maybe 4-1. We're leaving the rest of our troops, and we're keeping an eye on them like a good steward. We're leaving them down there, and we're going to handle these whatever Aserai horsemen up here. I didn't quite see the number, but it looked like, it's typically about 100 in a battle like this. We outnumber them 2-1 here. We've got archers shooting at them, and it's probably not going to go well for them. Meanwhile, their forces are moving in, but it's slow. And I've got another surprise up my sleeve here. We're going to hammer their fucking, all of their troops, in fact. I think we will sweep through their archers, kind of disrupt and kill some of those guys, now that their cav is really hurting here. And then we're going to run right up the back of their infantry, right? Because cavalry is really powerful in RBM. We just acquired, so to speak, okay, their archers are turning, which is actually good, right? Because we're going to be able to drive right through here with shields up. We'll suffer some losses, but we're really going to be able to take their archers out of this early battle, the early stages of this battle, and get horse archers behind them, in fact. And I'm just going to start cutting through guys here with my two-handed weapon. I am starting to focus a little bit more on this two-handed weapon. It's got Wazu killed in a few battles. You know what I mean, knocked unconscious anyways. So their archers are in dismay right now. They're being trampled by... We have about 200 cavalry here. And of course, we butchered the Aserai, at least one of their cav wings. I see their other cav wing is on the other side of the river there. A little bit breathless here so far. Some guys leave feedback. They're like, you don't have to tell us everything that's going on. And then other guys are like, you got to explain what's going on, man. You're doing so many tactics at once, I can't keep track. So I'll try to find the balance. All right, here's what we're going to do now. We're going to start swinging ranged units around on the enemy, right? It's effectively a modified kill box. We will get horse archers all the way behind the enemy. There's some jav cav in there as well. That's javelin cavalry, these type of units. And let's get this archer division also to the side of the enemy. The enemy honestly looks very hesitant, very almost paralyzed here. The RBM mod is a very good mod. It's exceptional AI compared to vanilla AI, but like any non-generative, non-advanced AI, it's highly susceptible to being destroyed by a good tactical mind, a good thinking, improvising human mind. And that's what we're doing, right? These archers, again, totally exposed. They're not protecting their archers, so we're just going to run cavalry through here. Their infantry is coming up in shield wall, but these guys are never catching our infantry the way that we're defending here. We have a crane formation with archers now on the enemy's flank and horse archers behind them. This is a recipe for disaster for this Southern Empire force. I mean, we're chopping down their horsemen like they're butter. Got a little tiny stutter there. I think that was hundreds of reinforcements coming in because the enemy's being liquidated wholesale here. This is like a nightmare so far for the enemy. They're kind of trapped on the water here, and this is optimal for us, right? This is why we position this way, so that the enemy's forces will be moving slowly. If they did try to retreat, they'd be retreating into water, which makes their retreat slower, and they are really being surrounded here by our troops. I mean, look how many cavalry we still have here. And of course, now we have a decisive cav advantage, right? We have a massive cavalry advantage. They still have some. I see some there, and we can block them with the 8th Corps while we drive in with the 7th. But the enemy really is... It looks like some of Mike Tyson's early opponents, where they're just getting knocked around the ring like a rubber ball, and it actually looks comical how bad they're being beaten, you know, just clobbered. If you want to see a hilarious fight, it's Mike Tyson's 9th fight. If you've never seen like someone get completely destroyed in a boxing round, and I don't mean like knocked out in one punch. This poor guy's got a strong chin, but he gets obliterated, and it's really funny. The guy comes in with all kinds of bravado, saying he's going to knock Tyson out, and it's epic. Anyways, I'm a fan of Mike Tyson. I grew up with Mike Tyson's prime. This fucking guy here, fucking assholes. All we're doing here is, of course, liquidating the rest of their cavalry. Their infantry is paralyzed. I'm just keeping an eye on their archers and infantry. They can't get to our units. We've got archers shredding them. Yeah, the enemy's having a very bad day here. They're now trying to regroup, so we're going to get in here and try to cause some more death. You get these little hesitations. I think that's the reinforcements pouring in massive amounts. The enemy had, what, 2,000 troops here, give or take. So it's going to have 2-3 waves in this battle. But it also might just be the AI really struggling with how to position so many units, right? The enemy has just units everywhere in this battle. So we'll pursue, but we're not going to pursue all the way to the enemy lines, right? One of the keys in a battle like this is patience, although I'm getting a little impatient. We haven't really even had an infantry clash because they keep fucking regrouping. And when guys say, hey, you know, run an RBM for an episode, this is what I worry about. The enemy looks like they're permanently reforming. And what I mean by that is, oh, you fuck. I don't know how much damage that did, but that did a lot. What was I saying? Oh, so the enemy, it seems like they permanently reform. And look at the death spam, right? They're getting massacred as they reform. And I've tried all different kinds of add-on mods. I've tried a mod, it's called Defend Yourself, where these guys supposedly, you know, it triggers the AI to be a little bit better with their regrouping troops, but it doesn't matter. We've got 200 cavalry stomping them. And in RBM, of course, cavalry are significantly more powerful. So we've pursued them to my comfort level here. We're going to try to get down this rocky terrain here. This might be another one of those maps where it looks like you should be able to go there, but you can't. So we will find some way that Tale of Worlds will allow us to go down. And we're going to regroup. This episode, and this battle, not even just this episode, you know, will probably be the normal length of about an hour. I'm not going to do a 4-hour RBM episode, and I'm not going to do RBM every other episode. Some guys want to see it. That's why we're including it. I do like the variability to the tactics, but look at how patient we have to be. It looks like a couple of my troops either finger fucked. What do you guys call it? Fat fingered or whatever. I say finger fucked. I fucked it somehow. All my units here they're way more advanced on the enemy than I thought they were going to be, but it's fine, right? Because the enemy regroups to the other side of the map. They're literally 600 units away right now. Well, I guess it's 400. And thank goodness we have this RBM mod, right? It just saved you like 10 minutes. because the enemy's still got a ways to go before they get here. Alright, so let's do some assessment here. The first thing I'm going to do, of course, you see me do this already, is destroy their cav wing, right? We just sent 3 cav divisions over to one of their cav divisions, and as soon as those guys are close, I will simply unleash those guys. Now look at that little hole there, that little pocket. The enemy has no choice. Well, it has a choice, but I don't think it's going to do anything except come right through that chute, and they're going to get destroyed. It's going to be a massacre.
Shoulder to shoulder.
So all this cavalry, now that they're near the enemy cav, they will charge. Some of those guys might actually run up that chute. That won't be good because they'll get pinched there by the enemy. I mean, I guess it will slow down the enemy there. I'll have to go back and look to see if they're getting jammed up. Try to kill this noble. Of course, nobles in this campaign are incredibly tough. You got to like pound them with an axe 6 times for them to die. And I do see some of my cav charging up in that chute. So I'm going to go back and try to fix that. It's one. There's a benefit to it. A lot of those cav charging the chute. What I mean by that is that narrow gap up there. They're going to suffer losses here. I'm circling cav behind the enemy, by the way, because this next time they regroup, we're going to try to just ramrod them. But the benefit is, of course, it's totally compacting the enemy, so that as soon as I pull this cav out of the chute, just order all these guys, okay, go this way. Now we can open fire, and all of the enemy units are just compacted in a death ball, and the arrows are about to start rolling in, right? It's going to be a massacre. Look at all the arrows just whizzing in over my head. We can drive in on them with infantry if they come down, although they might regroup. Who knows what they'll do. I might even crane formation them here. We can pull a cav unit to one side and really just crane formation them and then hammer and anvil. I've got the 6th division here. It's actually clogging up the cavalry there. If you have an infantry division in a tight shield wall, it'll block your own troops too, right? It blocks enemy troops very nicely, and it'll definitely block your own. Yeah. Let's pull some of these guys back here. I'm fighting this battle kind of in a perfectionist manner. And by the way, that division over there, they're just reserves. That's that scrub division. I had plans to use them as a bait ball in this battle, but it never materialized because the enemy never attacked with these coward infantry. Do something. You fucking coward infantry. They didn't even come down to shoot very hard, and I think what's happening, they're already regrouping. I'm almost dead. I'm getting slashed over and over again. But we really have not even had a clash of troops. And to me, this is just too much, right? RBM it's nice. You want to regroup, right? Because you save troops. But this is extreme. They're barely engaging us here. I mean, they lose 40, 50, 60 troops, or maybe they're losing more. I don't know. It seems like they're losing 20 troops or 50 troops. Time to regroup, right? It's time to regroup. It'd be like in a boxing match if the guy punches you once, you like bob and weave and head way over into the corner, dodging all over the place. Like, come and fight, motherfuckers. I'm gonna get killed. I just looked down at my health. There's thousands of archers here, it looks like, but I can't help but truck some of these guys with our heavy cav division. We've got lots of heavy cav here just rampaging through. They've got a lot of troops too. I was actually trying, that was intentional if anybody wonders, I was actually trying to have Wazu commit another one of his flying death acrobatics. I think it's a funny little role-playing part of it. And it'll be very appropriate. It would be almost impossible, but it would be very appropriate if Wazu died by jumping too far on his horse. I think that would be very funny. At this stage of the campaign, I think it's actually okay if Wazu dies. He has an heir to the family. We're getting ready to do the fast forward. I'm pretty sure what happens is I get to select a new heir from Arwa and other companions. And I've lost patience here. Unfortunately, it's kind of glitching out a little bit too. Hopefully you guys aren't too bothered by it. We're trying to have a gigantic battle here, but I think the RBM mod is really short-circuiting in this battle, right? It's perma regrouping. They're literally regrouping to the furthest edge of the map here, and we're going to chase them. I'm done sitting at the edge of the river waiting for them to reform 6 times, even to our detriment here. I still think we can win, although it'll be ironic if the AI essentially makes me impatient enough that we lose. That would be pretty ironic. A little Sun Tzu, right? If the enemy is impatient, if the enemy's angry, infuriate him, right? There's all these psychological quotes from Sun Tzu. And this would be one of them, right? If the enemy's impatient to kite forever.
Infantry! Footmen!
If the enemy is Wazu, have your troops run where there's lots of high hills and have him kill himself with the fall. And shit, you can get killed by cavalry here. Now, I do have 2 cav divisions. We're going to continue to assail these units, but I'm bringing up our infantry. We're going to attack. If these cowards that attacked us are not going to engage, we engage, right? We're going to fight. I've got the 3rd and 6th division here. The 1st division I actually pulled forward, but they're... I don't see them, but they're not really going to be of use. It's a bunch of peasants. We're going to use the 3rd, 6th, 4th, 5th, and our cav divisions. 2nd, 7th, and 8th. You know, we can just... Our 1st division, we could just completely retreat. We don't even need them. It's a bunch of peasants. The enemy here is in a pretty sad formation. It's like the wide kind of formation you might see with pike and shot. Right, where troops are all spread out, but they don't have a lot of pikemen. It's possible that RBM doesn't operate supremely in the times I play because I don't use the better pikes. There's a mod that a lot of people like with it where it makes spears and pikes much better, and it's possible that the enemy AI is trying to adapt to that hopeful situation here. But it's not going to matter, right? We're going to come trucking right through here with cav until I get killed anyways. I'm just 0 health. Bob and weave, friends, bob and weave. And they have a massive amount of troops, but we're going to bore in with these 2 infantry divisions, and these are tough, undamaged infantry divisions. Nobody's attacked them yet, right? We haven't seen battle. Hired pikemen keep trying to spear me, motherfuckers. Wow, wow, wow. Oh shit, I probably shouldn't have done that. Let's get out of here. The whole line is just charging the enemy. I have archers up there as well, crossbow, and look at the enemy. Whoops. Well, you can't play Superman forever. Wazu just ate shit. So this is Wahan. This is his first mate, or lieutenant, we'll call him. This is going to be one of our premium captains for this campaign. So we're happy to control him here, get used to him. There will be plenty of battles where I have to use this guy because Wazu goes in reckless like that and gets unseated. This guy's going to ride a giant camel for this campaign, so I kind of want to get used to how this works with the spear. He's not doing very much damage with this camel, but I don't think this is the strongest camel you can get. The power bar now actually favors us. So we're just gonna, this guy's got lots of health. He's way up high on his camel, and I'm just gonna stab and run over guys here till this battle's over. We can hammer and anvil this weak infantry on us. It's down to recruits and tier 3 guys here, Vigla recruits. And this has been an interesting battle, to be sure, right? This is highly unique, which is, I think, why people want to see RBM, right? It's very different than what they're used to. It's also unique AI, right? The AI did some interesting things there. It just wasn't able to handle the different things we threw at it. And I've used RBM before, right? So I have some idea what it tries to do, but it's also just fundamental tactics. They leave a cav division open like that and divided, destroy it, right? These are all fundamental axioms of war. Divide and conquer, Caesar, etc., etc., etc. We did some deception, we did some kiting, and the enemy really never, until the end here, really never got hand-to-hand combat, and by that time they were so weakened and lost so many archers that this battle's over. Apologize if that ruins the suspense for anybody, but you can simply look up at the power bar and see that our troops here are destroying whatever remnants here are left of this Southern Empire force. But this noble gal, you're dead. Or guy, I can't tell. Well, almost got speared. He was looking at me and almost got speared in the face. That would have been amazing. Yeah, kill this guy. It's like fucking surround and drown time. Albos. Oh, this is the guy that was leading the army. He's getting mauled. There's 8 guys stabbing him. Look how strong they are, though. They just don't go down. He's still not dead. Kill that guy. That's incredible. I mean, yeah, this is going to be interesting with these lords. I mean, these lords are They're not indestructible, of course, and once we get some higher weapon skill, we'll be 2-shotting them or maybe 3-shotting them. But all the lords, you know, 400 hit points is probably a good guesstimate. Not our lords, just the enemy lords. All right, we got quite a few troops here. These might be reinforcements that are kind of coming up late. The battle was a rolling battle, to be sure, right? That went quite a ways. This is a gigantic battlefield. And that's a gigantic success, right? Wazu racks up some 2-headed skills, and critically, no death for our companion. We did have that one gal run. I retreated that division. I might have missed telling you that. I think I mentioned it. I was planning on retreating that weak division. We don't need to lose a bunch of recruits here. And onward we go, right? A 10-to-1 kill ratio for Wazu. Wazu may not have to pick up mugs anymore, but he's got to slice the head off of lots of Southern Empire forces. He's getting kind of tired of it. He's getting ready for retirement. It may happen at the end of this episode. Now, what I mean by that is when that episode comes, and what I mean by that is when it's time to put Wazu to bed and fast forward this campaign into uber difficulty, I will be giving you guys plenty of information about it. I will show you kind of what I'm doing, and there will be sort of a before and after, right? Some guys say they want to see the battlefield map scrolling like over the course of 15 years. I'll do my best to show you guys that, but I don't know if that's even possible. I'm definitely going to have to get a little bit of food once in a while, not just myself, but Wazu. You know, his army will eventually lose morale and break apart. You know, we're going to span 15 years, and I think it'll probably take a couple hours of game time, and I will record it. You know, using my recording device here, this NVIDIA GeForce Experience. But obviously I don't want a 2-hour episode just showing you guys the time lapse, you know, with some elevator music playing in the background. What a shitty loot we got out of that battle. Maybe this is why. Let's get these bitches. I'm seeing this more and more where there's like 3 or 4 guys that escaped the battle. I don't know, they must rout. These are the cowards that we round up at the end. Stop. He sounded like a coward. Stop. Come with us. These fucking dipshits. I think one of the things that's happening is because these lords have so many hit points, they're hard to round up on the battlefield, right? They literally rout because they get beat on for a while and they don't get killed. And I think some of them are running off the battlefield. So I want to go to Vostrum, but let's help this dipshit here with Onira. This is probably going to be a debacle. He's been here for, it seems like a month. Oh, look at this. I'm sort of scoreboard watching, and Britannia is getting blown out, right? If this was a football, soccer match, this would be like 8-0 in the second quarter, or second, what do you guys call it, the second period? This is like 8-0 in the second period. And the Vlandians took Pen Cannock. I think the Britannians are almost eliminated, and we're like 2.5-3 years into this campaign. So pretty rough, right? The Britannians, and that's kind of unfortunate because I looked forward to battles against Britannia, but we're probably not going to have a lot. Now, we had a few, of course, just in this pre-campaign, but the long campaign, maybe not. Now, who knows what's going to happen, right? There's a variety of different things that the game does to balance out when kingdoms are really getting fucked. I think they get mercenaries cheaper. The next thing you notice, if there's a kingdom in your campaign, if you got a kingdom with 2 cities and 2 castles, what I've seen is the next thing you know, they have 7 mercenary clans on their side. And of course, with that many troops, all those mercenaries, they got a better shot to win. We got to spread our units out here. They got fucking fireballs I hadn't anticipated. It's a gorgeous scene. There's like sun reflecting on this. The walls are weak, but this is a beautiful city. I think we can kill those people on that catapult. They're plainly visible. Oh, this motherfucker. I see you, fucking asshole. You're a dead man. Fucking shoot it, Wazu. Yeah, you go ahead and shoot, you stupid fuck. Catch a javelin right in the face. You're not getting another shot off, fucking asshole. We got some trebuchets working here. This is a siege that's been going on for a while, and I'm not going to narrate a lot here. We're just going to be able to overwhelm this siege by force. They have little tiny walls. It looks like a little kid fort, right? They're like 8-foot walls made out of stones piled up and shit. This should be quick. In fact, I'll have to look at that, but I think there's holes in the walls. I think the guy that was here has been here a long time. It makes sense that he finally pounded it with trebuchets and blew holes in the wall. This fucking asshole archer's shooting me. Fuck you. That's a noble heading for the catapult. Let's see if we can kill her. I recognize this is not the most exciting. You're dead man too, motherfuckers. Till I run out of javelins, you guys are all dead. And we did run out of javelins. Fortunately, though, there's some thrown on the ground here. I know this is state-of-the-art narration here. I've been told just to be myself, just play and do my thing and not worry, too much about how things are going. Now, I'm not going to roam the map and gather food and do quests for a 4.5-hour episode, and load it up to YouTube. But, in this Keep Siege here, I'm just going to fucking narrate. We just drilled that noble right in the head. Maybe one more of those javelins and down she'll go. She's flaming our troops. I want to kill this person that's on the catapult. Especially since it's a noble. Oh. You could just barely make it out there. And I'm literally throwing javelins like an inch over her shoulder. She's feeling those. The wind of the javelin is blowing right by her. But I guess I better not spend the next 20 minutes. Look at that shit. They do have holes in the wall. Or at least one hole. It does look like there's another one over there, too. I won't spend 20 minutes throwing javelins at a noble here. I wouldn't do that even if I wasn't narrating. I want in here. I want to fucking blow this Keep Siege open. Wazu's impatient, as you saw in the last battle. And of course, if this was a do or die situation, Wazu wouldn't be charging. I should clarify that too, and hopefully it hasn't killed any of the suspense, any of the interest in the campaign to this stage. If we lost a battle and got captured at this stage, it doesn't really matter. We've got so much money, we'll just recover, we can buy troops, we got a garrison. Frankly, the Aserai with Wasu's help is getting too powerful. Right? I didn't anticipate, of course, that these dipshit kingdoms would let us fight like one enemy at a time, right? We haven't. Look at this guy. Yeah, come on down. I'm going to smash you with my mace. I didn't anticipate that it would be this easy, but we're trucking through. We bitch slapped the Khazate a little bit. Of course, the Khazate still have Hussan folk, so the Khazate out of all the kingdoms have done, well, Valandia for sure is kicking the shit out of the Aserai. I'm just going to drive through here and knock guys around with our battle axe. Still leveling our two-handed skill. Die! Kill this noble. She's just standing there. Makes no attempt to do anything. Maybe she's got hit on the head too many times. She's stunned like a duck. We're just gonna smash her with our battle axe. She doesn't move. She's getting fucking mangled. I'll just stand here. This is literally the worst thing. I can't see this guy, but I see his body parts flying off. He's probably dead. And at least it's fun, right? Smashing the Empire here. Wazu's he's getting his two-handed axe game on, right? He's probably gaining another 20, 30 points. And it's a beautiful city. I'm going to charge up here and lay my axe on top here and say dibs, right? We want this city. This is a city, all jokes aside. I want for Wazu. You know what we're going to do here? We're going to tempt fate and see if Wazu can't get killed leaping off the edge here. I think it's hilarious, the ragdoll effect. Come on, motherfucking horse, jump. Oh, shit, the horse has way too much health. Anyways, all right, I won't fucking waste your time too much with that either. Wazu is definitely going to intentionally, it's not his choice. The person in charge of Wazu is definitely going to run him off some cliffs just because I think it's hilarious, especially, of course, at the end of battle like that where it doesn't really matter. But, if things go badly at this stage of the campaign, it doesn't really matter because we're going to go to sleep. And frankly, I relish a challenge. So I don't have any qualms or complaints at all. If during the 15-ish year time lapse, if the Aserai gets pushed back quite a bit, right? I'm just going to let things roll. I'm not going to try to change things too much. I am probably going to defend Danustica. Somebody said, hey, this should be your capital, right? So we shall see. It does make sense to me that Danustica would be the capital. Earlier, a couple 3 weeks ago, some guy was like, hey, you should pick a capital and defend it all the way through the time lapse. And I might do that, but I'm also, I'm not going to, we're not going to be venturing off and gathering a bunch more EXP and money and stuff like that. Speaking of money, Wazu's going to just waste all this money, right? We're not going to let his heir inherit millions of dinars. He might inherit like 100,000 or something like that, just so he's not destitute begging on the streets. But we're gonna equalize some things here so that the challenge is still present. I mean, at this stage, you can see we're just trucking everything in sight. It helps that the Aserai is finally being competent here. Yeah, you know that word, competent. Why can't I say it? Competent. Yeah, anyways, I think that's the word. Intelligent, how's that? We're going to recruit a few more armies here because we're going to go down and siege Vostrum, but I'm not picking up Kaban, that fucking asshole. If you didn't see the episode, that dipshit, he just seemed like a dark cloud. Everywhere he went, bad things happened. Lanarkhen is being defended by Belgier. I mean, the Valandians are just giving an ass whipping to the Battanians. And what's ironic there, of course, is we're at war with them and they're leaving us completely alone. Look at this shit. They want to give us Onira. I almost want to vote somebody else. I feel bad for these guys. They're just going to give us city after city. They already gave us Danustica. But I guess either they're intimidated. That's what we're going to say. They're just intimidated by Wazu. He comes to the council, right? There's all these lords. And he's new, right? He still smells like the Sandy Crotch, the bar he worked at for 30 years. He still stinks. He's still got raggedy clothes. He's that new money. He still doesn't know how to have personal hygiene, but he's got lots of dinars, right? So he smells of alcohol. He comes in drunk. And I think they're intimidated, right? When they have the vote for the castle, this guy comes in, he's 7'2", and even the tall Aserai guys are just looking straight up at him. He's got this big gnarly beard and a fucking great looking afro, and they're just terrified, right? He just looks like a fucking guy you don't want to vote against, right? So they just keep on giving us these castles. All right, so at least the Aserai forming an army here to fight Valandia. Do something. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this shit. Look at this imbecility. Gathering near Danustica. We're at war with Valandia. This guy's right next to Valandia, and he's forming an army. I mean, he must like running through the desert for hundreds of hours because it's going to take him days to get where we are. And instead of attacking Valandia there, he's going to... This fucking dipshit is going to... This might be more than we can... We might be biting off more than we can chew here. I guess I could recruit a few more armies. We've got one more guy coming, and we'll do some healing here. I guess we'll have 800-ish. Fuck it. We're going to go. Let's do this. We just destroyed that Southern Empire force. It's possible we'll get backdoored here while we're trying to take this, but I think we're going to pull it off. But what a fucking stupid fuck, that Valandian or Aserai army. Whatever you do, don't try to take territory back right in front of you. With all those former Aserai castles and city that are now owned by Valandia. Just go ahead and leave the infidels plenty of territory in the west and come help us in the east. And we clearly don't need help here, right? We're just steamrolling everything. Yeah, so I want ranged prisoners, so we'll definitely do recruiting of ranged prisoners here. And we're gonna blow up their siege towers here. This is standard process for me against a hard target like this. You can see the power bar favors us. That's probably because they have scrubby troops inside, and half their troops are militia. I'm gonna save here, and I know people are like, "Why are you doing that? You're not save scumming." The RBM mod is unstable, and it would be a real shame for me to have to fight these battles again. And re-narrate simply because the RBM mod crashed. So if it does crash, and I've had it crash before, not yet in this campaign, but in the practice campaign it crashed on me, we will simply reload to this point. All the other progress will be saved, and that seems appropriate. That's about the only thing we're really save scumming for. All right, so you build yourself 4 trebuchets. Once you have 3, you can start building all 4. You can move them to reserve, and once that 4th one's coming along, then you build them all. It immediately smashes up all the enemy counter siege, and then once their counter siege is destroyed, keep sieges like this are, I don't want to say they're a walk in the park, but man, they're easy. And if you want it to be even easier, you either blow down the doors, or blow down the walls, rather. You see that some of the shots are hitting the walls. Another thing guys like to do is they like to remove or put on reserve 2 of those trebuchets and then build 2 fire onagers, the fire catapults, and then your troops will man those during the active siege and cause major casualties to the enemy on the wall. Enemy on the wall, enemy if they're guarding those the spots where the walls are blown open, huge casualties. Hundreds of enemy troops will be immolated. and it'll be like the easiest keep siege you've ever done. All right, so this looks perfect. They have no catapults at all. We will, of course, normal player damage. I do that by instinct. People wonder why I bring that up. Banner Lord difficulty, I guess I should call that. And in we go here. Now, this city is a fairly boring city from a defense and assault standpoint. I think it's very congested. Actually, you can see it's very congested. I think the siege ladders are literally right next to the front door there. So we will assault the whole front of the castle, right? I'm just going to put troops out in big, long spread lines. Skirmishers going crazy. The enemy's not going to be able to get any troops on the wall for more than 20 seconds. They're going to get destroyed by projectiles. The Aserai probably are second only to Britannia when it comes to projectiles, right? Just a massive amount of units that have javelins, obviously, or arrows. It's pretty devastating. All right, so we've got this scrub 2nd Division here. I can put them in reserve, but I'm going to use all these troops. If we suffer losses here, we suffer losses. Success is all that matters here, right? Even if we lost half our force, it would be just fine. Vostrum is a city that I would love Wazu to have. I'd love to have 2 cities. That way, if calamitous shit happens during the fast-forward process, the time warp, Wazu still has a capital, right? I'm just setting the 8th Corps here. We're going to get the 8th Corps tucked against the wall. I don't want these guys getting obliterated with arrows and whatnot, and we will use that 8th Division like a true reserve division. Look at this crossbow. Yeah, whatever you do, don't pay any attention to the javelin that hit you in the face. Just keep trying to aim. And here we'll set up our skirmishers and archers here. This is going to be a rain of death. Look at that. As soon as I said that, it was just hundreds of arrows started shooting up there. We will tuck this division completely out of sight. I might even tuck one other division out of sight as well, because they have a lot of archers, right? I mean, I'm trying to show you what I would do is if this battle is really close. It's not going to be really close. These guys are getting scorched. Oh, you fuck. Dead man. You see every guy is shot in the neck, shot 5 times. So I've got this division following me. We can tuck these guys against the wall as well. These guys are weaker infantry. We don't need these poor militia being scorched. What unit is this? The 4th? 4th. All right, let's tuck these against the wall as well. And then once we get this siege tower up here, I don't remember if I built 2 siege towers, just 1, right? Yeah, just 1 siege tower. The ladders are going to start working. The trebuchets are working. And obviously you can see our projectile units are working, right? Even though they're the ones defending, it's a massacre. I got reserve troops back here just ready to throw at the enemy. Yeah, so a couple of elements about the fast forward. It's imminent, fellas, at this stage. I know some guys are probably impatiently waiting for it because it is going to be a much harder, more dynamic stage of the campaign. Forming your own kingdom. We're not going to have too much difficulty forming our own kingdom. Although I take it back. I just realized that Wazu is not going to be the one forming a kingdom. And things are going to be different when I form a kingdom. Get up here, get out of the way. These units are being obstinate. Climb the ladders, you dipshit. Because I'm doing the time lapse before we form our kingdom, what that means is that there's going to be change to the map, right? I don't even know if Landia is going to be left. If Landia could be gone by the time that I come back to this campaign, right? In other words, for you, it's going to be a week tops. It'll probably be 3 or 4 days between episodes, right? You see the episode where I say, okay, Wazu's going to sleep. He's entering retirement. Damn, they got a lot of archers. Get up here. But a lot's going to happen in that 15 years, right? There's going to be nobles that get killed. There's going to be kingdoms that take over other kingdoms. There's going to be, the policies. Kingdoms will be changing law policy and stuff like that. Oh shit, I thought the ladder went this way. Wazu learning about gravity again. It's fine. We'll be able to get archers down here and really start to blow this keep siege open. Get down here. These archers are fucking taking their time. Oh shit, they totally blockaded this fucking I don't know why they're not getting up here. They're coming up like one at a time. Anyways, expect things to change. It's going to be interesting. I'm actually really curious to see what happens in a 15-year time lapse. We are going to make some manual changes. I'm not quite decided how I'm going to do it still. I've got some good feedback, but I'm going to edit using the console commands. You can call them cheat commands if you want. We are going to be cheating, only it's for the enemy. That guy went flying. That was hilarious. God, the enemy's got troops everywhere I look. There's no safe spot for me to command. So what we're going to do with it is we're going to make extra strong lords for the enemy, right? We're going to give them, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 troops per kingdom. It might only be 3 or 4. I will definitely tell you guys. But we're going to make them abnormally strong, right? We're going to give them 380 two-handed skill if they're a sturgeon, and maybe if they're Khazate, they'll have 370 bow skill or something like that. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to do it, but we're going to do... and of course, it'll be the kingdoms. I'm only going to do the kingdoms that look strong, right? If there's a kingdom that has 1 city and 1 castle, I'm not going to edit their nobles because they're probably cooked anyways. But the kingdoms, if there's a kingdom that has like 12 cities and 6 castles or something, God, the enemy has a ton of troops here still. I can't believe my troops won't get up here, and of course I get smoked in the head. This is going badly. I'm just going to narrate through this because the keep siege, it's a formality at this stage. This is the slowest fucking character I've like ever used. Get moving. We're definitely going to use the RTS mod here and try to wrap up this siege. But these Uber Nobles, I know I've talked about it a couple times, just in case guys haven't heard. You know, I'm trying to essentially make some Nemesis type characters for this campaign. So, not a Dirtherd or something like that, but one of the kings that's younger. It might even be like the son or grandson of Dirtherd. Probably will have like 360 riding skill and 380 one hand and 380 pole arm, so that these guys are menacing on the battlefield. They're already going to have more hit points from the powerful hero mod, and now they're going to have elite weapon skill and elite riding skill and stuff like that. I might give it a little bit of variety. Like some of them might be really good leaders, while others are just beasts on the battlefields. Maybe a few are a mix. And I like that aspect, right? Just like so many other good games or good stories where there's the Dark Lord and Sauron and Morgoth and shit like that. It's going to be great having nasty enemies, really challenging. I already like the fact that these enemy lords are hard to kill. Go away, Legionnaire. Oh, we're fucked. I'm getting cornered by a little bull haircut militia and a Legionnaire. We're dead. Yeah, well, this is a little bit of a debacle, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just narrating, and there's zero chance that we're going to fail this siege, even though my troops are acting absolutely retarded here. You're a dead man, motherfucker. Anyways, the net effect of it all, I hope. I don't know. It's always a chance it's not nearly as good as... I guess I shouldn't hype it too much in case it's just not that good. But what I'm hoping is that there are gnarly battles against hyper-powerful enemies with huge armies, upgraded nobles, mature kingdoms. Using the realistic weather mod, we should have some gnarly battles with sandstorms and shit like that. It should be a really interesting campaign to watch, and it's going to be really difficult. I can guarantee you that part. It might even be so difficult we can't win, which that's probably a crazy concept, because almost everybody who plays Bannerlord long enough, the campaign eventually snowballs and you win. Well, not if the enemy has fucking StrengthenAI with elite lord. With elite lords, right? Just butchering you. We can fucking lose. We can get captured and be destitute. Like if the enemy kicks ass and takes our resources and shit, who knows what'll happen? And that'll be part of the fun, right? I mean, imagine if a kingdom has 50 castles and 38 cities or something crazy like that. They'll be... imagine the armies they'll be sending against you. Non-stop 4,000 doom stacks, and you just can't win. Anyways, enough on that topic. This siege is complete. Vostrum is ours, and you guys get the idea. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for it. I hope it is I hope it is as interesting as I'm dreaming. I am going to talk extensively about how I did this process. It'll probably be a side episode. It might even be something that you see before this episode is released. I'm releasing these usually about a week after I make them. I'm a little jammed up right now. My wife and I are trying to buy land. We're getting just loot left and right, cities left and right, and just butchering our way through the Southern Empire here. That's why I haven't had time to stream. I will be streaming some of this campaign. Of course, it's going to be in Chapter 2. We'll be doing some streaming. We'll probably have a 2-hour weekend, maybe every other weekend or something like that, where the campaign is live, and you get to watch some of it. As long as there's a decent showing, 30, 40, 50 of you gents, we will do that. Of course, I'll answer any questions. If you're trying to replicate this campaign, it'll be a perfect time for you to ask those kind of questions. And hopefully I can help you guys. The guys who have discovered that Bannerlord, once you get good at tactics, is kind of easy. The Southern Empire here is being just shredded, ripped apart. And again, some dipshit AI. They're not begging us for peace or anything. The Khazate isn't attacking us. That we're just systematically annihilating them. Wazu's turning into a beast. I mean, this is 3 years into the game, and he's a fucking beast already. He's got his pompous rich man clothing, right? Wazu definitely is superficial. He's all about, wearing clothes that would be banned by sumptuary laws, right? Wazu's like, I'm a noble. I just smell like beer and used to work at the Sandy Crotch, right? He's new money for sure. Look at this shit. They're going to give us every castle, or every city and every castle. Unquid must be incandescent with rage. The Sultan, we're getting all the castles, and each time he disagrees. I mean, it's kind of a tidal wave. We're gaining levels. We're getting troops. We've got all these Aserai armies running all over the place. And it might just be, friends, time for Wazu to take a little break here. I will make a little decision, and then we shall see, right? We have huge armies. We have vast wealth. Our levels are getting strong. We have dipshit enemies that are sort of letting us piecemeal rip them apart. Look at all these free troops, too. These aren't mine. I didn't take this castle, but these are all free. I guess the enemy nobles are just shoving troops in left and right in the castles here. So we'll take some elite troops. We don't really need them, but sure, right? This is like you just have piles of money, and the IRS is like, oh, yeah, by the way, the last 17 years, and this never happens, of course. They're like, the last 17 years you overpaid. Here's a huge check. In fact, we just brought bags of money instead of a check. Here you go. That's how this campaign is starting to feel right now. Even though our whole frontier is on fire, things feel good. Look at this shit. Oh, the other one must have not been for Vostrum, but this is for Vostrum. And look at this. I can just WWF trash talk to Unquid. Now we get Vostrum as well. Just eat shit, Unquid. We get it all. I mean, what do we have now? Like 6, 7 fiefs. I have never experienced this before in a campaign. I'm not quite certain why this is happening. Again, we're role-playing, I guess, because it's how big Wazu is. But we literally have like 5 castles and 2 cities now. And yeah, it's snowballing already. It's snowing everything. Levels, troops, fiefs. I mean, I forgot we have Onira too. They just dumped out. I didn't even vote for that. They just said, no, here it is. You take it. We don't even want it. And we're forming quite a little kingdom. Now, all of this, again, is irrelevant. When Wazu sleeps, I'm not going to have him running around defending castles. Now, the Aserai, ironically, they might I can't stop them from defending his castles. Now, if for some reason we have 3 or 4 cities and 5 or 6 castles still after 15 years of warfare, I will just give those away to the Aserai. And it won't be a bad thing if the Aserai is strong when Wazu makes his decision to retire, right? Because his children are going to be belligerent and immediately demand to be their own kingdom. They will do a little devious planning. And if the Aserai is strong, of course, we're going to have to fight them. So that's not a bad thing either. All right, I think this is a good spot to leave off on this episode here with this massively expanding, kind of stupid-looking banner. It's basically a random banner. He's got his little eagle on some shit brown. It's baby vomit yellow over shit brown, but it is what it is, right? The banner is working so far as Wazu conquers the southeast of the map. from a busboy in a tavern at the Sandy Crotch to monstrous, pompous conqueror of the Southeast here. All right, so we're going to wrap this episode up. All the normal things I say here, there's probably 4 of you guys listening at this stage. I actually have no idea. Maybe more are watching, but the point is, though, is I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your hardiness and zeal for this campaign. It's been a lot of fun for me to do this. I appreciate how enthusiastic and all the help you guys have been for it. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Hit that like button. With all that said, fellas, I will see you guys next time.